Welcome, welcome, welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 259. It's your boy A-Dub.
And it was just stuff like that.
What's good? Back in the building, another Tuesday, another great day in sports, and another chance to kind of come together as the SLAC Familia and, chat about some of our favorite things. So as we do that, we want to welcome in everybody watching live on YouTube and Facebook
Yes,
and
sir.
those listening later as well. We appreciate all your support and comments. Keep it coming. We got moms in the building, Kelly and Pops as well. Good evening to you all and happy Tuesday. And
For sure.
Strizzy, how you feeling? I hear a little something already, but
Good.
let's do a quick update before we get the show rolling. How you feeling, dog?
Yeah, man. I'm like, I'm all right, you know what I mean? But this past weekend got a little bit of a bug or whatever. Two weeks into the school year, and kids and stuff are bringing stuff home already. So, this past weekend got a little sick, but I'm hanging in there. You know what I mean? Not going to miss Tuesday for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, but aside from that, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing all right. You?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, time is rolling, but man, I'm sorry to hear that. And I have though been hearing from others that like a lot of people are already getting sick and bringing stuff home from school. So
man, I ain't been sick all summer. You know what I'm saying? Man, they've been in school for all 2 weeks. Already bringing stuff home.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, but definitely, man, wish you and the household a smooth and fast recovery. Hopefully, it's something you guys can just knock out real quick. So,
sure.
But everything's going good on this end. Just time is moving fast. Getting through the summer and everything. It's happening quick. So, lots to look forward to, but lots to dig into as well. So, we'll go ahead and kick off let me pull up our graphics real quick and we'll get into it. There we go. We're gonna wrap up the Olympics and then we're gonna really have a couple weeks of basically baseball only until we get into football season, but it's not far away. But we're gonna go ahead and start with the wrap up of the Olympics, which the closing ceremonies was Sunday, which was actually pretty dope. I think they did a better job on the closing ceremonies than the opening.
Yeah.
And I had to check into it a little bit because I heard about Tom Cruise, his big rappelling into the closing ceremony. So I had to go watch the replay. I missed the live, but I was like, oh, let me check this out. Pretty dope. But what do you think about that? We know Tom Cruise does his own stunts, but that's pretty badass to do it like in the moment in front of a crowd like that.
Yeah, no, it is pretty crazy. You know what I mean? Like a stunt is a stunt no matter what. You know what I mean? Like regardless if you've got the film crew and emergency standing by, but we know for Mission Impossible, like bro literally jumps off of a mountain on a motorcycle. You know what I'm saying? It's like he did that himself. You know what I mean? And multiple takes at that because he didn't like it the first time around. So dude's pretty wild. He's probably got a little bit of a adrenaline junkie. You know what I'm saying? But it still is really really cool. You know what I'm saying? Especially to do it live and be able to see it in real time. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, oh, let me warm up or let me get right. It's like, okay, it's time to go. You got to go. And also at age 62 too. Right. I mean, he's getting up there. He's been doing his action star thing for a long time. So that's pretty gangster.
For sure.
A couple more people rolling into the show. We got Stephanie Washington. Hey. And glad to hear from you, Stephanie. I was watching on Facebook. It looks like you were living your best life out in Phoenix and Surprise area. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to catch you this time, but hopefully again soon. But you'll have to let us know what your favorite spot was because a couple of those places I haven't even tried that I saw you go to. So that's super dope. We also got Earthly in the building. What's good, Earthly? Shout out to Earthly. That reminds me. Shout out to Earthly and everyone else that's already signed up. But the Pick'em League is coming back soon, and I saw Earthly had registered as well. So good job, Earth. I'm ready to battle with you again this year and get back on those pick'ems. But welcome back to the show. Grace as well. Hello. Welcome to the show. Thank you for rocking with us. And Pop says, he says Tom Cruise is a beast. Yeah. Stephanie said, I'll be back.
No,
for sure.
This time.
Yeah, for sure. We'll make something happen. But that's what's up. Along with the closing week of the Olympics, I definitely wanted to get an update on the medal count. U.S. ended up in first place overall, but tied with China for 40 gold medals, but still held it down. The U.S., China, some of those bigger countries usually dominate, but it was glad to see us on top for sure. And also with some of the sprints, I don't know if you saw the Noah Lyles stuff, but I wanted to check in with you and the Slackers as well on what do you think of the Noah Lyles situation. He got first in the gold got bronze in got gold in the 100, and then bronze in the 200, which is like his traditional sport, but had COVID at the time. And then also some little comments coming afterwards, especially between him and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill saying he could beat him in a race. Who would you pick in that race? And what do you think of the Noah Lyles thing in general? Like, is he just people love to hate on him or what?
No, he annoys the crap out of me, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between arrogance and confidence, you know what I mean? And I feel like he's a lot more arrogant than he is confident. And, you know, a year and a half ago, nobody really knew who Noah Lyles was until he started talking about all the stuff he started talking about in regards to like the NBA and the NFL and those players, things of that nature, and being, you know, champions of their sport, but not world champions and all that kind of other fun stuff. And I've never really been able to get by belittling or putting somebody else's stuff down to boost yourself. You know what I'm saying? But especially as Black men, we have enough to deal with, you know, as it is, or Black people in general. We have enough to deal with as it is than to have our own, you know, belittling us. You know what I mean? And if you're the best at what you do, and you say you're the best at what you do, like, then go out there, prove it, and make your name for yourself that way. Like for me, like that's exactly what Usain Bolt did, right? I'm the fastest in the world, and he went out and 100, 200, didn't matter. He just killed everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, like I know I'm happy that he got the gold in the 100, but it's like you kind of won on a technicality. You know what I mean? If you're being honest, like you weren't even technically the first to cross that finish line. The dude from Jamaica was, but on a technicality, your chest was the first out. You know what I'm saying? Your chest was the first one to go over. So it's like it's things that you know, it's like try to be a little bit more, you know, humble in a certain situations. And then, you know, we aren't really talking about having COVID when you won gold, but we didn't figure out you had COVID until you got bronze. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And if you knew you were sick, like, why did you still compete? Why weren't you wearing a mask? Like, that's a little unprofessional and childish to me too, because now you're running and being around people, you got COVID, and you're not really protecting yourself or others in that matter as well. So I think everything about that stuff just really annoyed me in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I'm not the biggest Noah Lyles fan, period.
You know, it's funny. I'm pretty much right there with you. You know, we think pretty similar on a lot of things, and also we kind of have a certain demeanor that we carry. And I definitely agree as far as like the way he came up and got his name was pretty much from kind of talking shit. You know, I mean, he's like basically. And the thing is, though, for me, if you want to come out and play the villain and that works for you, that's fine. If that's what gets you notoriety, but then don't turn around and be like, why don't people like me? People don't like
exactly.
There's everybody else. I don't get it. It's like that's not how it really works. And
it isn't.
And I agree with you. Even some of the stuff that he pulled in this Olympics, like looking over at his competitor when he thought he was going to beat him and he won by like 0.02. You know what I'm saying? And like one of his heat. And you see, just because that same racer had like looked at him when he got beat, it's like he wanted to do it back to him so bad that almost lost the race.
Yeah,
so
seriously.
It's very interesting thing. But as far as the Tyreek Hill thing, I don't know. Earthly says, can Tyreek beat him? Pop says Hill is a jerk and can't win that race. I can't stand him. But honestly, I don't know. Depending on the setting, Tyreek Hill maybe could hang with him because he's like has world-class speed as well. It's just he doesn't train in that like
for sure.
You know, in that way. He doesn't train for that.
Yep. Yeah. I think Tyreek Hill, you know, it's funny. Like we have to kind of go back and kind of look at what he was getting in his 100-meter meets, you know what I mean? Like not too long ago. And Tyreek Hill is too. Like, you remember he was a track star as well. Like he was like I was thinking he's just a football player, right? But Tyreek Hill is super, super quick. I'd love to see it, but I'd also love to see like if Tyreek were to actually train for it, actually get some sprints in. You know, I know Tyreek Hill is also very confident in his speed, but it's like this is what Noah Lyles does year round. You know what I mean? Like trains year round and competes every 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he does for the Olympics and things of that nature. So I'd love to see it. You know what I mean? And honestly, I'd love to see Tyreek beat him. If I'm being completely honest, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would. You know what I mean? Like I said, like I'm all for like, and I think one of my biggest gripes about it too was like, why are you going after dudes in other sports? Like, go after the dudes in your sport. You know,
right? Like, just go play that sport then. Why are you mad at them?
What is your sport or you being the best or the fastest man in the world have anything to do with basketball players or football players? Like, I just felt like it was so unnecessary to put somebody else's sport or other players down or talk shit about them when, to bring yourself up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dog, if you're the fastest man in the world, go out there and prove it. Go win gold in every race. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Bolt did. He went out there, and he didn't even say anything. He just went out there, just beat the break the brakes out of everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's what got him his shoe deals. That's what got him, the sponsorships, things of that nature. So, like, I just feel like you don't have to do all that extra, you know what I'm saying, to prove you're an athlete, to prove how fast you are, things of that nature. So, it's and the thing that's crazy too is like every time someone interviews him, they never ask about him. It's never about him.
Yeah,
it's always like, well, USA won gold. Like, how you feel about that? You know what I mean? It's always about the things he talks about, but never about himself or, like how he trained, things of that nature. It's like, dog, like no one even cares about you still. They still only care about your negative BS. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
that would suck for me as a world class. I just won gold, and you want to talk about the USA winning gold? You know what I mean? Like, but you brought that by yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the reason why, even though you just won a gold medal, they're still talking about how you feel about the USA men's basketball team winning gold medal. You know what I mean? So it's like,
for sure,
you're not doing yourself any favors either.
No, I agree 100%. Want to welcome Anthony to the show, yo, and then also Punk as well. What's good? Our Texas representatives in the house. So they said Tyreek Hill ran a 9.98 in the 100 meters in junior college, but that was years ago. And then Noah Lyles, though, he ran a 9.78 this year to win the 100 meters. So that's not. I mean, all those tenths count, but
they do,
but that's not too far off. That's similar space there.
For sure, that's close.
Pretty crazy. Anthony Weston right on time with the segue as always. How about some breakdancing? We also had that in the last week, and honestly, people are saying, okay, so the breaking is not going to come back in LA, which even though it makes even more sense in LA than in Paris,
For sure.
But I don't understand actually, honestly, how they've already made that decision. But based off of some of the events, I guess, and people are saying it's basically because of Ray Gunn from Australia, who was not so elite with her dance moves. What did you think about that situation? And what did you think about breaking as like in general? And I definitely want to hear from Stephanie, from Kelly, from some of those, but we're looking forward to that, like what they thought of the actual competition.
For me, first and foremost, dude, I love breakdancing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do. Like, you know what I mean? I have a lot of really, really good friends that are breakdancers, like a lot of them, and are very, very talented. So, like, I watched a lot of it, and a lot of those guys were phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, some of the stuff that they were doing, I'd never actually seen before in breaking. So it was like, about to be 37 on Thursday, and like in 37 years, I've never seen a lot of the stunts and a lot of the moves that they pulled. So it was really, really cool to see, and a big part of it, does kind of feel like maybe the chick from Australia. I can't really say maybe that 100% was on her. Maybe they just didn't get the viewership that they wanted, but I feel like, for being completely honest, a lot of the events probably didn't get the viewership that they wanted.
Yeah.
But old girl from Australia, man, like don't you got to qualify for the Olympics? Like don't you? Don't the country in general gotta like basically approve you going? So I want to know like how Australia was like, yeah, you gonna go out here and represent Australia for us in Paris? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
that could not, to me, have been the best breaker in Australia, or that to me could have been the dance portion she put together, and they were like,
right.
And it was the same time. It was like, oh yeah, you're on your way.
They're like, yeah, I agree. I think, well, from what I understand, I guess she has like a lot of like degrees in like different cultural dance and things like that. And she like basically petitioned, kind of convinced the Australian like Olympic board like to send her. But I don't think like, because every country has their own like qualifiers or how they decide it. And I think maybe since it was new, they were just like, all right, cool. You want to rep? Go ahead. But I actually kind of commend her for like going for it because you're gonna be on that world stage. And like I can't even dance in front of like a few people like and be like that comfortable, especially if I was like that bad, not knowing anything what I'm about to do.
Right.
So I do commend her for actually the courage to just go out there and be like, yo, let's get it, So
yeah,
I kind of mess with Ray Gun, honestly. Yeah.
The whole routine was like, it was, when I was watching it, I was like, is this for real? You know what I mean?
Right. Like, did they send a prank? Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if they were gonna, a gotcha moment, if dude from Public to come out, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're just playing. She's not really representing Australia, and then Australia really comes out, whatever. But like, it was just kind of crazy. But I got to watch a lot of it. Like, I think it's oh man, what's Peacock? Peacock had all of the Olympics playing, so you could literally watch everything. So that was
sport.
Yeah, like one of the big ways I was able to watch a lot of it, and so a lot of the stuff was actually really, really dope, man. But it's just, it kind of sucks because it's like she was so bad that's all they talked about. That's all they showed. That's all they're still showing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like damn, like so many breakers out there that had a chance to kind of put their name on the map, especially from different countries. Because a lot of times, even the breaking competitions that I see, a lot of times are all just U.S. ones. You know what I mean? So all of the breakers that I know, the breaker that I didn't know that was there, who more of an acquaintance of mine, but he's also from here. A lot of those guys like aren't really being seen, I think, because of that. You know what I'm saying? Which it's kind of whatever, but I know for them it's probably kind of sucks because it's like, damn, like all that work we put into too, and we weren't able to be seen because this chick came out and did her thing. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah. Hopefully this year, because if it's not coming back in LA or moving forward, it kind of sucks.
Right. No, I agree. Popsy said it shouldn't be an Olympic sport to me. Kind of sad with all the stuff that's been added. I'm for tradition, and I kind of felt that way too. But I honestly did enjoy it. I just feel like if they would have had a little bit more detail on like, here's the criteria, here's what the judges are looking for, like we just got to get used to it a little bit, because I do prefer that over some of the other random sports I was seeing. Some of the other crazy stuff. So
I prefer breaking over fencing. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Stephanie said, I don't understand how some of the folks made it there. And I agree. Yeah, it's like some of the countries was just like, all right, whatever,
You trying to roll out? You trying to roll?
Kelly, I really enjoyed it. I only watched the women, but love seeing it. Understanding how to score all of it. They really are talented athletes. Yeah, they definitely are. Like, especially some of the stuff was so hard to see until they would go back and do the freeze frame and the slow-mo, and you could actually see like even more of the detail of like the moves they were doing. So
yeah. There was this one chick, I'm already drawing a blank on her name, but she took two stall moments in the air back to back, and like I was like, how'd she do? Like the core strength was phenomenal. I was like, how did she even do that? Like I was legitimately amazed. Like I was literally looking at like her hand placement, so that like that.
Wait, what?
Like, huge roll in it too. You know what I mean? I was like, everything about this right now says impossible, and I was just super amazed. Like, it takes a lot for my jaw to drop, and I was like, how was she? It was crazy, dog. Like, she was like gymnast mixed in with dancer, and like, oh man, it was phenomenal. I gotta find the dance routine and
that would be dope
and send it to you, because it was fire. Dog.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
We'll put it on the Instagram or something too.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do think like now is the time like for like a little breakaway league, like if somebody could like form it, because I did hear some of the announcers being like, oh, some of these breakers like they'll go against each other in different battles and stuff like that, and so they know some of each other's like signature moves, and it's like maybe now's the time to try to create a little league and try to get some of this buzz and put something at least on Netflix or something.
Really.
Kelly said there's a whole thing that she took over Australia's breaking board, and that's how she got it. I don't know. More to come about that. Well, Kelly definitely has some conspiracy theory type podcasts on lock, so I know that they'll get to the bottom of that. You have to let us know. But yeah, Anthony Weston also says she was in the committee who selects the participants, apparently.
She put her name in a hat like Harry Potter.
Right. She's like, yo. Oh, man, that's so funny. Earth says Ray Gun brought the viewership. I haven't seen anything on the good breakers. It's true. She did kind of steal the show, but the breakers, the good ones were dope.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of what I mean. I feel like I don't know how many people were watching her live, but they definitely brought it after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Was like, she's been
like, we got to see this.
Yeah, like she's been the only person I've been seeing on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. It's crazy.
Earth said it reminded me of that one lady doing the hip hop walk tutorials. I have seen that. And she breaks it down and adds the lingo and stuff like that. That's too funny. Mom said I thought it was a joke for sure, but she did get a free trip to Paris, and that's my thing. Is she's like, yo, I got the world stage. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Anthony West says Snoop Dogg Dub C YG competition for the Gangster Walk event in LA. That's perfect. If they don't add it to the real Olympics, they probably wouldn't, but they should have like definitely a competition like at the same time in 2028. That would be dope. Kelly, are we talking about Jordan Childs and how I'm ready to fight everyone for her? Yeah, so that was crazy. I don't understand like fully what happened, but there was a point deduction and they had a chance to appeal it to get it corrected and whatever. She was awarded the bronze, but then somebody else pointed it out that they didn't appeal within 1 minute. And so that point deduction stood and she really didn't earn bronze. And so they're talking about it's going to go through all kinds of like litigation and court battles to try to get to the end of it, or arbitration or whatever, which is pretty crazy. But I almost feel like they awarded it to her. They had the ceremony. Like it's almost too late to go back. Like,
For sure. I can't remember. Maybe we talked about this a while ago or something like that. But like, if I'm the person who came in 4th place, don't give me that medal. I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Whatever y'all come, whatever the conclusion is, whatever y'all come down, I'm like, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, Jordan,
because you didn't get it
for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because what's gonna happen? Like, you know what? We came to a conclusion and we're gonna stand by it. Jordan Childs is the forfeiter bronze, and then you just hand it over to the next. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah. If I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna win it the right way, the real way. And like I'm like Jordan Childs got it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I would feel. You know what I mean? Like, but this is all insane to me. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, and like I said, if the judges messed up, it's on the judges. Let it ride. You know what I mean? Like, let it ride.
Right. Kelly said the judges messed up on several of the scores, and according to people who know this stuff, the woman they're giving the medal to should have been last out of the 3 of them. Oh, dang. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
But Pop says, gotta know the rules, give it back. Dang, but I'm like, they gave it to her. It's not like she took it, Pop. You know what I'm saying?
She didn't run off with it.
She was supposed to be like, wait, I didn't really get it. You should take it. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And I'm with it too. I see Kel's next one. If there's evidence that they petition in time, then this is 100% just on the judges. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we even still talking about? You know what I mean? Like, like it is weird. What it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm just he's okay. I'm just saying, like, for me, like I said, like I don't know. I gotta win it then and there. I gotta get to the ceremony. Like, if I'm not getting it, then forget it. You know what I mean? Let her keep it.
Yeah. That's a very interesting one. But the saddest part about it to me is that they're talking about it could drag out in court for months or years. Where it's like that's the crazy part. Like, should be very simple. Get it in front of some type of person, arbiter, some type of independent party, and be like, did this happen? Yes or no? Like, I don't know.
For sure.
It's crazy though. The last thing definitely wanted to mention the Olympics real quick was the women's and men's basketball. Women's went for their record 8th straight gold medal, handled business, and beat France, which is the same team that the men's beat with actually an exciting game. France kind of had a little flurry at the end to make it a close game. Steph Curry went and did his kind of like, traditional Steph Curry thing. I just thought this picture was so awesome, though, him shooting over Wembanyama.
The release of that shot was phenomenally quick. I couldn't even I know Steph has I think the fastest release in like NBA history. So he's the only player who can get the shot off before. I think I have like 0.6 in order to get a shot off or something like that. I think he's the only NBA player who can actually officially get his shot off before it or something like that. So like when I remember seeing this shot, I'm just like, how do you even get that off? He caught it and shot it so fast. It was crazy.
Yeah, most definitely. He was in that zone. And it was funny. I was watching the game and, you know me, like I could be kind of critical. And I was just like, don't mess this up. Like, come on. And there was a few points where I'm like, sometimes we've seen him for the Warriors get like this, where he's just like unconscious and it don't matter. And we've also seen him throw up some bad shots and have some bad turnovers.
Where he goes when he goes 1 for 13.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh man, I was just like, let's make this happen. But But definitely Curry was fun to watch, as Kelly says. This shot, and then the very next one, when he was like double teamed, he was like, we knew like he was going to throw that shot up regardless and hit it to really seal the deal. Yeah. That was super dope. Anthony says France has to hate us at basketball at this point, for sure. But the other thing I do like about this picture, having Wemby in it, is like he did his thing, like in front of like some of the greatest NBA players, like, and him still being so young, like he's not even fully grown into his body. He's still gonna be out there sometimes.
Yeah.
Like once he gets that on him, like in the next couple of years, like he's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
It'll be cool to see him in 2028.
He's gonna be crazy unstoppable in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's gonna be nasty. I knew it was raps when Steph hit that weird shot double teamed that he probably shouldn't have shot and it went down.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's a rap.
It's
like
over
when Steph gets in that mode and everything just falls, like even when the shot is really ugly, it's like why did you shoot that? Oh crap, it went in.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was one of those. He was double teamed on, I think it was the right wing, and it fell. I was like,
okay,
oh,
that's
yeah, all right, we good.
Yeah,
we good. Like you said, put him sleep. It's wraps after that because I was like, he gonna keep giving him the ball and everything he shoots is going in. Yeah. I low key wanted him to take a half court shot because I'm like, it was gonna fall. I knew it was gonna fall, but it got a little too close for comfort for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I still feel like with that kind of talent, you know, regardless of how good some of these teams were and the competition has been over the last couple of years, I still feel like this team should have been able to just be a little smoother. You know what I'm saying? But they got the job done, thankfully, because if this team would have lost, oh man, we'd never hear it.
Right.
We never hear it down. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to the boys and the women too. You know what I mean? Like it was really close. That it came down to that what they thought was a 3-point shot to tie it up, and her foot was on the line. So we only won by 1, which was crazy. You know what I mean?
Into overtime, yeah.
Yeah, man. She's 1 foot, you know, back, and you go into overtime, and they have momentum. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was pretty close on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, it was exciting, and like we talked about, this entire kind of tournament is like definitely the world is caught up to the U.S., but it's good to see the U.S. still hold it down.
Yeah.
Anthony Weston says, "You think Jason Tatum is selected to the next Olympics?" And I definitely think he is, especially based on the fact that this was like Curry, LeBron, and KD's last ride. You know, I think in 4 years, the NBA and definitely the U.S. men's basketball is going to look a lot different than it did this time, because some of that old guard is kind of, you know, at the end of their run. Yeah. So I think Jason Tatum is definitely on it unless he gets gangster and decides, nah, I'm good. Because they need me now. I don't want to go.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. I feel like, does he qualify? Of course he does. But like, or not qualify, is he selected? Yeah. But I almost feel like depending on who's coaching, you know what I'm saying? Depending on who's coaching.
True. If Kerr's not there anymore, maybe not.
Yeah. I think if Kerr's not on it, he goes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if somebody else decides that they want to coach it, you know what I mean? Maybe Spo becomes the head coach instead of an assistant. I think he goes. But I know there's one of the timeouts. I think it was 80. It's when we were down. We cut off. I think it was 84-84, and the guys went back to the bench. They I don't know if you guys noticed it, but everybody who was coming off when Steph tied it up, they all went to Spo, and Spo was like giving direction. So it was. I was like, I'm not going to sit up there and say, yeah, I'm not saying Spo probably helped with that comeback or put them in different places, but he was the one who was obviously coaching, and Kerr was to his right with his hand on his hips, just kind of listening. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I still think Kerr was the guy for the job. I'm glad they got it done, but I think even his comments in regards to some of the things were a little weird. You know what I'm saying? It's a little weird. It's like I don't even think Tatum fit this roster, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? So like, just say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like realistically, like if you can find playing time for you know D White and you know some of the other guys in there, like even Drew, I love Drew. He played very, very well. It's like you can find some time for
Tatum.
For Tatum. You know what I mean?
True. I think he was the ultimate insurance in case KD wasn't healthy. But once KD came back healthy, it was like we don't really know where
right. Yeah, that's very true too. Like because they weren't even sure he was going to stay. Like you know what I mean? Like they were. I remember them basically saying like we're going to see how he feels. After the Serbia friendly. They weren't too sure, but he ended up. He's like, "No, I'm gonna stay. I'm good." And then I'm glad he came back. I'm glad he didn't get hurt. You know what I mean? Because if you're already injured while you're there's always the chance of re-injure. So I'm happy about that because we got a lot of games to play in Phoenix this year, so it's cool.
Yeah, most definitely. Stephanie said, "How do you feel about high jumper Shelby McEwen's decision to turn down a shared Olympic gold medal after eventually being forced to settle for silver?" I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, me neither.
I wouldn't want a shared gold medal either, but I guess if you're taking it back to your home country, you don't gotta tell everybody it's a as long as they don't give you a half a medal, you know what I'm saying? Give you the whole one. They split it in half. They're like, yo, you only left half or right half. Right. I don't know. That's kind of crazy though. I'll have to check into that story. Maybe we'll have to bring that one back next week, but I don't know too much about that.
That's kind of
I guess
weird.
maybe if it's high jump, maybe they got the exact same like distance or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's kind of crazy though. I'll have to look into that one. I did see another high jumper though is getting some different offers from some different type of endorsements after having a little incident with the pole. So that's some funny stuff too. That was funny. Yes, that was it. Oh, okay, so they got the exact same height. So
got you.
I would say yeah. I mean,
I'm like, no, we got to go jump for jump till somebody loses.
True. Like, is there overtime? Is there sudden death?
Like, we got to go jump for jump till somebody knocks it off or something. You know what I mean?
That'd be funny if they're like the Olympic committee's like, you two decide how you want to settle it. Like, last person standing gets the medal.
In the streets, dog. Like,
that's so funny.
Settle on the blacktop. Let's get it.
Exactly. But that's what's up. In 4 years, we'll be seeing the Olympics here in the U.S., so that should be pretty gangster. Definitely we'll be talking about that, and we'll be on like episode, who knows, 453 by then. We'll have to see. Grace said it wasn't a little incident. Sure. That's so funny. Oh, 70 said, I think they did a jump off. Okay. So maybe she got the chance to do the and was like, nah, and then ended up getting silver in the jump off or something. Gotcha. We'll have to look into that, but that's crazy. Kind of segueing that into the NBA, a little bit of NBA news. The NBA in-season tournament is coming back, but this year they're calling it the NBA Cup, which I mess with that name a lot better. I feel like if they would have called it this last year instead of the in-season tournament, maybe it would have had a little bit of luster because it is really like a soccer cup. You know, they have the groups, they have like the knockout round. They have the point stage. So they're kind of drawing that inspiration from international soccer. So it makes sense to me. But I like that. The NBA Cup is coming back. But the most interesting thing so far about it is the Mavericks and the Warriors are grouped together in the West. And the first game of the or the NBA Cup for both of them is going to be against each other. So that will be Klay's return to play against the Warriors, which will be, overly hyped, obviously, but a little bit emotional. I think that's going to be great. It'll be the first time we'll see the Splash Brothers going against each other.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'll be pretty good.
Pop says, boo. What do you think, though, after last year, the in-season tournament, or now being the NBA Cup, like this will be the second year technically. What do you think? Do you think they should have trashed it? You think they should give it another run? Did you like it?
I feel like what they need to do to keep it going and to keep people interested or to enjoy it is they need to do a better job at making sure people know which games are tournament games or group draw games. Yeah. So I feel like that was really hard last year. It was like, so the tournament's going on, but it was like, but this game isn't a tournament game, it's a regular season. You know what I mean? Like it was really hard to keep up with like which games were tournament games and which ones weren't. Which ones mattered and which ones didn't, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like if on the schedules, maybe they're highlighted in a certain color or something, or you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how they do a better job at that, but I feel like it was so I don't know what the word is. Like it was just difficult to follow. You know what I mean? It was really difficult to follow. But I'm always cool with like them trying to figure out different ways to like spice up, certain things of that nature. I'm sure it makes the guys, because you get the money and the trophy for this, so it's like keeps them entertained, keeps them from not wanting to take games off, things of that nature. So like keep trying to figure things out to make the NBA or NFL or MLB like to make them more exciting, and I'm with it. It's cool.
Yeah, I am too, and I think especially because the Lakers won it last year. Like at least it gave us something in this. We could say we had a little success last year. Anthony West says, just feel it would be interesting if they played against other league champions around the world like soccer does. Now, this would be gangster. I feel like in every other, like, so the Olympics is 4 years. I feel like in that 2 year period, like in between the Olympics, they should have like a summer brawl type of thing where maybe the NBA sends the East and the West champion, and then you go play against the Russian leagues, the Serbian leagues, the China leagues, something like that. That would be super gangster.
And I feel like it was really cool with the Olympics this year too. Is like there were a couple of players on both men's side and women's side that I honestly think could be in the NBA or should be. Like I feel like some teams should go out and be like, "Yo, we saw what you did." Like you know what I'm saying? We love to offer you a chance to come and try out, or at least just straight up be like, we'd love to sign you. You know what I mean? Like there are some guys on both sides. You know what I mean? Like I've hooped with Promise before, but I think she's gotten so much better on the women's side. Like I feel like she could easily play in the W. You know what I mean? And old boy from France, he hooped. You know what I'm saying? It hit between him and Wimby. Like that was all. I don't think I've ever seen Braun get banned on like that.
Right. Even though he kind of gave up, like he went over there to take the charge and then went down so fast. I almost feel like he was trying to get out of the picture. He's like, let me help you out.
You know what I'm saying? But like, when was the last time we really saw Braun get banned on? You know what I mean? So,
true. But he didn't jump. If he would have jumped too, but he wasn't ready for that. He was
he wasn't. I don't think he thought he was going to ban it. I thought he was far enough away that he was going to lay it up or just not go for the dunk. But yeah, he banned it. So, you know what I mean? But he also played very, very well against everybody who was guarding him too. So
yeah,
there are some hoopers in there that I think could really actually play in the NBA. You know what I mean? And so I thought that was really cool too. So I think it's a really good idea. Get some of these other countries to play in the tournament as well, and see if they can make a name for themselves as well.
Exactly, but it also reaffirmed for me that there's plenty of talent to add more NBA teams and also WNBA teams. They're still expanding. There's not a lot of teams. I think it's only 12 teams.
Yeah, their season is very short.
Yeah, and they play the same teams over and over. So there's there's chance for that too. So that would be tight. Pops doesn't like it. He says terrible. Get players to play the most games. Stop coming with crap to say you're doing something different. They got to figure out a way to keep them engaged. You know what I'm saying? And especially because that everything is like that first half, like before Christmas, people are more interested in NFL than they are in the NBA.
For sure.
And really, the NBA doesn't pick up until like All-Star break and after the Super Bowl. So I think that's why they're trying to draw that over. So we'll see. All right.
Like, too, like the younger generation too, like they don't watch sports the way we do, and Pop's generation does. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that also plays a really, really big role in it. Like, we can watch sports all day just for the love of it. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like this younger generation can't do that. Like, they need extra. They need some razzle.
They need it to be like an extra. Yeah, it's an international game. It's a special.
They need that for whatever reason it is. Like, their attention spans just aren't what ours are. Like, I could watch. I watch all Heat games for the most part, Suns games, I watch, and all the televised games. But yeah, exactly, Pops. Their attention spans is 2 seconds, so I completely agree with that. I got two of my own whose attention spans are all 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So I think that plays a really big role in it too. Is that it's like we gotta, how do we appease all generations? Like obviously our old heads and this new generation too of like they watch a quarter of the game and then they go and watch something else and they come back. Like how do we keep their attention on the games as well? So. I think that's 100% what it's for.
Yeah, I feel it. That's what's up. But other than that, NBA news is obviously is pretty quiet since it's really mostly just been about the Olympics, and then we got still a little bit of time before training camps and things like that happen. So we'll keep this thing moving. Jump into some NFL talk. Preseason started in earnest, and Ayuk still waiting for that trade. That was the big news of last week. I mean.
Yeah.
It looks like it's narrowed down to the Steelers, but apparently the 49ers have the framework of a trade ready with the Steelers. And they also have a renegotiated contract they put on the table, and they basically told Ayuk, you choose. You want to stay here with this contract or you want to be traded to Pittsburgh. What do you think he's going to do? Or do you think he's stalling now because this isn't the options he wanted?
I think it's a little bit of everything, right? Like, I think if I'm Brandon Ayuk, like, I don't know what his number is because that's what it's all about, right? It's about his number. It's not about anything else. Because unless there's something going on in the background where he is not getting along with the quarterback or he's not getting along with the coach or like, bro, like you're coming off of a team who is very equipped to go right back to the Super Bowl again. You know what I'm saying? Like
and went into overtime in the Super Bowl. Like you scored first in overtime. You had the lead.
Like you're one mess up away from possibly, you know what I mean? You're one coaching mistake away from possibly winning the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And so I feel like there's a number that he wants, and 49ers is like, we can't meet you with that number, but what about this one, whatever this new number is? Yeah. But I'm like, the grass ain't sweeter in Pittsburgh to me. They're not going to be as good as the 49ers are. They're just not.
Yeah, they can be very improved. They can be smash mouth tough. Right. They're not. They don't have the same type of contender aspirations. They're not in the same tier right now as the 49ers are as far as.
Agreed. Yeah. They haven't run the ball well. I know the offensive line's got a little bit better, but not much. Like, I think he goes there, he's automatically the best receiver they got. But Russell Wilson ain't been the same since Dave Canales, jumped ship. You know what I mean? Right. And I'll be honest. You know what I mean? The other quarterback,
Fields.
Yeah, Fields. Justin Fields wasn't doing very well in their first preseason game. And granted, I get it; it's preseason. Like, no one's throwing.
I wanted him to come out and light up.
Yeah, but like you still kind of wanted to see a better game from him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I just don't know if, like I said, the grass is greener. Like, I would maybe you're going to get paid. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. You're not Justin Jefferson. Like, you're not going to get that type of money. You know what I mean? But take a little bit of less, dog. Like, stick around. Like, it's nice in California. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're already on a Super Bowl contending team. Like, I'm really curious, like, what his thoughts are, because, we haven't really heard much from him aside from, I don't want that deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or the 49ers, like, not really liking what they've got return value for him. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know. But I don't really see why, as of right now, why he wouldn't want to stay in San Francisco.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to get paid handsomely. I'm sure that contract that they put out there is fair market value, and maybe not top, but like you said, he's not Justin Jefferson. So
right.
Have other guys on that team getting paid big money. Yeah. So
and the way that offense runs, dog, they'll put the rookie in, and he'll do just as fine.
Yeah,
like their receivers get open. That's how the offense runs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
coaching they don't have
Tyreek Hill on their team, so it's not just run and we'll get it to you. Like, their offensive coordinator and their head coach does an amazing job at getting the receivers open for Brock to get on the ball. And I mean, he led them in receiving last year, and he's literally been Brock Purdy's favorite target for the last year and a half. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's had more receiving yards than Debo. He's had more receiving yards than the tight end. Like, he's been leading them. So that's probably not going to be the case in Pittsburgh. It's just not. Like, they don't even throw the ball like that there.
Right. That's crazy. Anthony Weston, he says, I feel like more teams are opting to get by with a bunch of 2 and 3 wide receivers instead of paying one guy a ton of money, other than Miami. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, literally, it's wide receiver by committee. And if you scheme and you have a good offensive coordinator, as long as everybody runs their route correctly, somebody's going to get open, and it's not always going to be the same guy. Yeah. I think a great example of this, too, is like Green Bay. They let Adams go, and they're like, we'll figure it out. Like, we got a bunch of guys here. Like, somebody, they can all run and catch. So, you don't really need a headliner guy. I mean, obviously, it's better if you have one, but it's not like a necessity. So we'll see. Mom says Stetson's return, thought he was still at Georgia with that last drive. It was really cool to see him on the Rams preseason. He missed last year some time during the regular season last year, being in rehab basically. And so now seeing him back with the team and seeing him getting that chance and not the Rams could have easily cut him, you know what I'm saying, or just walked away from that situation. But I'm glad that he got a chance and he threw. Yeah, they still might because they do have Jimmy G. So they don't, depending on how their depth looks like. But he did throw some interceptions, but he also had a game-winning drive. So that was pretty cool. Pop says, yeah, he played through 4 picks to get the winning drive against our 4th-team defense.
Yeah.
I was glad to see, though, the Cowboys defense was still snagging some getting some turnovers and stuff. JJ McCarthy, the big news out of Minnesota, he had a great preseason game. He looked really good, but he does have a torn meniscus, and he's going to have to miss some time. But they said he's going to have surgery, and it'll be decided during the surgery once they get in there if his knee has to be can be trimmed or if he needs a full blown repair, which means he could either miss like 6 weeks or the entire season. So that really sucks for him. But Sam Darnold finds himself a starting spot again. Like, he always resurfaces somehow.
So
that's the first of our quarterback competitions that's officially over. So
Yeah.
Another injury. Marquise Brown picked up a little injury from the Chiefs, but hopefully he's ready to go week 1. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about, what you thought about the Guardian caps. Now, the Guardian caps can be worn. This was the first time we've seen it in the game. Actually, it made its preseason debut. Jonathan Taylor wearing the Guardian cap, and they have the cover over it that makes it look like a helmet. You can't totally tell. What do you think of the Guardian cap? You like that, or?
You know, like obviously it looks a little ridiculous because they're so big. You know what I mean? But like running backs get hit a lot. Even on plays where they're not getting the ball, like they're blocking they're blocking linebackers, they're blocking defensive ends. So like I kind of commend them. Like for me, like that's prolonging your career. That's making it so that hopefully you have a longer career than what you're already going to have, because these running backs, these guys, they take a lot of hits. You know what I mean? When they have the ball, or they don't. So can people be like, man, you look ridiculous, or I can't believe you're wearing it in game time, wearing it at practice? But I mean, we've seen so many players, careers get cut short because of concussions and things of that nature. So I commend him for doing it. You know what I mean? Like I said, does it look crazy? Sure, but you know what I mean. At the end of the day, he's protecting himself and his brand. Like he is his own brand. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, his legs are his moneymaker. You know what I mean? So and his head too. You know what I mean? So it looks like a NFL Blitz character for sure. But yeah, man. Hopefully a lot of dudes follow suit. You know what I mean? Like this.
Yeah.
Keep you on the field. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna get injured, let it be something else, not a head injury.
Yeah.
You saw some scary stuff, last year and the year before that too.
Right. No, I agree. And I do think somebody had to kind of break the ice. We'll see if maybe in the second week there's more people wearing it. But I think the only thing that's curious to me is like, I wonder how these guys will run with it, or if they'll run with it differently, or if it's going to give them an advantage almost because they're like not going to be as worried as they're about their head. Like, that's the part I'm curious, but I'm almost hoping that like, the helmet companies, and maybe we should start like a little prototype or something, like just figure out a way to make this like into it, make the shells a little bit bigger and more cushion somehow, but make it look a little bit more like a one piece where you just wear a different brand helmet or a different version. Yeah. That's more like, kind of built-in padding. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too.
That'd be pretty gangster. All right, a couple more. Well, really, we only have like one more major NFL topic. Hassan Reddick asking for a trade from the Jets, even though he just got traded to the Jets from the Eagles, is pretty funny. He's still not happy with his contract. And also Jamar Chase, he's been at practice all training camp, but not actually totally participating. As of today, he was actually a no-show. He's still worried about his contract as well, which I get it. But these just some of the little kind of training camp holdout type of news that we're seeing. But Hassan Reddick, if he ends up getting traded again, I think that's a big name that's available, and he's good, but I'm sure somebody will be out there willing to pay him. So, but Chase, I don't think he's really going anywhere. Honestly.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow will be like, Joe Burrow will reconstruct his contract before he lets Jamar Chase go somewhere.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't going nowhere. And Hassan Reddick is a monster. He was a beast with us. He was a beast with the Eagles. He'll get paid somewhere, but sometimes you got to be careful when you're looking for a lot more money, because a lot of times it's the weaker teams that have the most money.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to be careful with that, dog. Like
same as Brandon Ayuk,
Yeah, exactly. You'll find yourself on a really bad team real quick looking for more money. So be careful with that.
Yeah. The other thing that came out, and I want to put together a graphic for this, but pretty crazy. The Cowboys were valued at $10 billion, basically $10.3 billion. The first ever team sports franchise to go over the 10 billion mark. That's I think crazy. The next closest was like 7 point something. But yeah, pretty crazy, especially considering I think that Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys in like 1988 or 89 for like 200 million or something.
Yeah.
Which at the time was like all of his family's money and all of his oil money, but pretty great investment for sure. But Anthony West says now no excuses to pay CD. If only they could just, if only there was no cap, you know what I'm saying? Then I think that they would figure that out. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. Is Burns still on Carolina? No, he's with the Giants now.
Yeah, with the Giants, yeah.
Yeah. But they needed to make that move because he was just too good for that defense.
I'm just mad they didn't do it when we had the chance to do it with Chicago.
Exactly.
They wanted Burns, and we told them no. They asked for DJ Moore instead, so we gave them DJ. So we lost out on the number 1 pick because of it. So like we could have kept DJ, let go of Burns, and then had Caleb Williams instead. but who am I? I ain't no GM.
Exactly.
I ain't no GM.
Exactly. Pretty crazy though. That's still going to be one of those kind of slip ups that they'll look back on. The Rams were second at $7.79 billion, followed by the Giants, Patriots, and San Francisco 49ers. So dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Pop says Jerry's the GOAT of owners, but we got to get more rings before he and I are extinct. Yes, most definitely needs more Super Bowls before that happens. But he definitely put together. He changed the game really, especially look at behind him, like the Miller Lite, like the advertising, like he took the shine and the like franchising and the branding aspect of football to the whole next level.
Yeah.
And he opened up a lot more doors for them to get paid and himself along the way too. So
right.
Definitely a GOAT as owner as far as that standpoint goes. So all right, with that being said, though, we have a few minutes left. Do you want to try to do quick sneak in a couple schedule predictions?
Yeah, let's try to get one. Let's take 1 or 2 in.
Who do you want? Who do you like? We can do pretty much whoever.
We'll be not done.
Let's see. Let's do the Bengals since they're on here right here.
Oh, for sure.
Let's do the Bengals real quick. So week 1, what do you got?
That's weird. It says yellow and orange is divisional. We don't know if it's. Oh yeah, okay, I see it. Okay, cool.
White is home. Yeah.
Gotcha. Week 1. Oh, they start off so slow, but I still don't believe in the Patriots yet. So I'm gonna say dub.
Yeah, I'm gonna say so too. If this was anybody else that's a little bit more war ready, I would go against them. But I think they'll get that first win.
Yeah.
Week 2 against at Kansas City Chiefs.
Loss.
That's a loss
Yeah.
for sure.
Especially because I don't think they beat the Ravens week 1, but they definitely go 0-2.
Yeah, no way. So let me see here. Home against the Commanders.
It's weird, man. I really like the Commanders on paper, dog. Like
I think they're going to be kind of good.
I feel like that division got so much more tougher with all of the changes that team is night and day from last year. They have to put it together, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna say W until we see them, on the field. But seriously, I think coaching change, all the offensive changes and defensive changes they made, like if they can get it down on paper, like I think that division is gonna be a little tougher than just Cowboys and Eagles. Truly.
Yeah, I agree. So I think though, but I kind of agree with you. I think it might be early as long as Burrow's healthy. I think they should win that.
Agreed. Yeah, they should win. Another team I gotta see. You know what I'm saying? Like on paper's great. You know what I'm saying? Paper's great, but can you put it together? They gotta prove to me they can put it together. But we'll see how they do.
Yeah. Away at the Carolina Panthers.
Dub. I don't think we're beating the Bengals.
Yeah. At home against the Ravens.
Loss.
Yeah. Ravens.
I don't think they split. I think Ravens beat them both times this year.
Yeah. At the Giants. That should be
that's a dub too. I'm sorry. I did not believe in Daniel Jones. I don't believe in that offense. I don't even believe in their defense. I don't believe in that at all.
No, I agree. At the Bengals. At the Browns.
Yeah,
at the Browns.
I think those the Browns. They'll lose. That defense is still gonna be nasty.
At home against the Eagles. That's probably a loss, I think. I don't know.
I feel like the Eagles are gonna be better this year too.
Yeah. I'm gonna say a loss for that one.
Yeah.
But then at home against the Raiders.
Dub. Yeah.
I think that's a W.
Yeah.
Away at the Ravens, I think that's a loss, right? We said they're gonna get them both times.
I think they're gonna get swept by the Ravens. I think the Ravens are gonna be really good this year. I mean, they were really good last year, but
true. At the Chargers.
I think they beat them too. I'm still not ready to believe in the Chargers yet either.
Yeah, not until I see what kind of wizardry Harbraigh is going to do.
Yeah.
At home against the Steelers after the bye week, I'm gonna give them that one.
Yeah. I wish you that too.
At the Cowboys.
If it's at Cowboys, I think Cowboys will get it.
Yeah. Cowboys have had sneaky good home field advantage, which I love that. It's
yeah, they really have. They really have.
At the Titans.
Maybe they beat the Titans.
I think so too.
Coaching change, so they're not even. I don't even think they're going to be as tough as they used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I think Vrabel had them really, really tough, even when they weren't that good.
Right. They got rid of him too soon. I feel.
Yeah, me too.
At home against the Browns, we're gonna give them that one, right? Because
we'll split that one with them.
Okay. Against the Broncos at home, they got that.
Yeah.
And then the at the Steelers,
we said they might split.
So so
they can split with the Steelers.
So that puts them at 11-7.
That sounds about right for me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think they're a really good team, and the spending is if they don't have one of their classic like slow starts, then I think that they should be all right.
For sure. AFC North is tough. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a tough division this year. Yeah, I like 11-7. I think that's straight.
Wait, is that the right number of games though?
18.
No, because they're bye week. How did I get that? How did I get extra? Should be 11-6, I think. Am I tripping? Right? I think it's 11-6. 11-6.
Yeah, that's right. 11-6. 17 games. Yeah.
I think I got that marked down wrong. Okay, that's what's up. Let me catch up with the comments real quick. Unc said Uncle Jerry running out of time. Yeah, definitely. Did JJ coin the term America's team, or they were called that before Jerry Jones? So they were already America's team.
Yeah.
Before that. Yeah, he's like, that's too many games. Thanks, Pops. You want to sneak in one more?
Yeah, let's do it.
Who's the other team we talked about?
I don't think we've done the Seahawks. I don't think we've done.
Let's do the Seahawks. We were just talking about them. Let's do them.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Let me get back to it.
Who's their coach again? I forgot who picked up.
Mike McDonald from the Ravens, who's like the defense.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
All right. Let's see here. Seattle. So it's gonna be an interesting one, but they start off at the Broncos.
Dub.
Yeah. That should be a dub for sure.
That's crazy.
Their graphics are weird as always, but I tried to find the best one I could out of all these without having to recreate them. So we'll deal. At the Patriots.
I think that's a dub too.
I think that's a dub too.
The Patriots that kind of proved to me, and I think the quarterback situation there is I think that was why Brandon Ayuk said he didn't want to go there, because the quarterback situation is unstable.
Right, which is like already the first option you're already seeing is negative. Like, where are you trying to go?
Yeah, for sure.
Against the Dolphins at home, though, that's a tough one. But that's
a tough one. I would say loss. I think the Dolphins are. You know, it's funny. It's kind of like the Dolphins and the Cowboys kind of in the same place with me. Like, they're gonna have great records every year, but like beat the good teams. I don't know how good the Seahawks are, but like we got to see them beat like the good teams. So, but I think it's a loss though. I think Dolphins win this game.
I got you. I'm with you.
You don't want a bad start though.
Right. Now they go away to the Lions. I think that's another loss.
Yeah, it's another loss.
They're a little bit too smash mouth.
Yeah,
home against the Giants. I like that.
Hit the Giants, yep.
Home against the 49ers. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. You know, sometimes even though it's a divisional game, it's like sometimes one team's just that much better than you.
Yeah,
that much better than you.
For sure. At the Falcons, I think that's a win.
Yeah, I think so too.
Battle of the Birds. That's pretty cool.
Their quarterback played really well though. I like what I saw.
Oh, at a Penix? Yeah.
Let me rephrase. I liked and didn't like what I saw. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, dang, like he looks good, dog. Like
right.
Kirk
Cousins might be worried.
I need to see Bryce in the second game. I need to see how much better he's got, man, because that worried me a little bit. He had some pretty good passes.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Home against the Bills.
Lost to me.
I think so too.
I don't think
that's
the
a
Bills
long way to travel, but
I don't think the Bills are going to fall off as hard as people think they are.
they're still going to be really solid. They have a good team.
Yeah,
solid
they
team.
are. They really are.
Okay, at home against the Rams, that's a win. I think we split the Rams.
We'll split those. Yeah, we'll split those. We'll get the home and lose the away.
Now away at the 49ers, I think that's a loss.
Yeah, me too.
Home against the Cardinals.
At home, man. Let's go win here and they'll lose that. They'll lose.
Split the Cardinals.
No, I'll bump that. They'll beat them Cardinals. Beat the Cardinals twice.
Okay, so we got them home against the Cardinals, then away at the Jets.
We'll probably lose to the Jets somehow.
Yeah,
I think the Jets are going to be better later in the season. You know, I mean, Rodgers hasn't played in over a year, so it's going to take him some time to get ramped up, and I think they'll be better later in the season than they are in the beginning.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay, now away at the Cardinals. I think they'll get them. That's almost like a home game here.
Seriously, dude. Yeah, we have so many Seahawks fans here.
It's crazy.
A couple of friends I have who are Seahawks fans too.
At home against Green Bay. That's an interesting one.
No, I think Green Bay wins. I think Green Bay's going to be really good this year. Or, at minimum, it'll be really fun to watch.
Yeah. No, I agree. Home against the Vikings. They should get that one.
Yeah, they should get that one.
Away at the Bears. That's a tricky one.
It is tricky. It's like, again, talking about paper, I feel like the Bears are better on paper. They have so many weapons now. It's crazy, but we still don't know how the Rook's going to do. So I think I'm going to give it to the Seahawks.
I'm with you there either way because that's a coin flip one for me.
Yeah. Really.
And then at the Rams. So we said they were going to split that one, right?
Yeah. So they'll lose that one.
Okay. So that puts them at 9-8. That seems.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Okay, let me throw that.
They're gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be tricky too, though, because I want to see how they're gonna do. Carroll's gone.
Right. It is a different. It's an adjustment thing
for sure, and coaching makes a really big difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Pete Carroll was. I didn't realize how good. Well, I knew how good he was as a coach, but I feel like when they lost Russell Wilson, I was like, Geno ain't gonna do it, and they've been able to get by with him. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, that's what's up. All right, we got a couple of those locked in. We'll continue to try to do those over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll kind of leave it there. Not a lot of crazy news, but I'm just hoping for health for a lot of the guys, especially in the preseason right now, because I just hate preseason injuries. That just sucks,
I know.
Especially
my heart dropped the other day, man. I saw Kyle get hurt from the Ravens or safety. I was like, please tell me he's all right. They said it was non-serious, but he definitely had to limp off the field and things of that nature. So I was worried. Like, it's not a Ravens season if one of their best players don't get hurt in the preseason.
Right.
So I'm glad it's non-serious. Hope he's all right, because definitely need him to come back. That's for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. Like you said, though, it's like the Ravens. They just have that little curse over their facility or something.
It's never a nobody, dog. It is always one of their best players on either side, dog.
Right, like somebody they know is going to contribute.
Seriously, man, like it's crazy.
I'm looking at these comments real quick. Pop's giving Jerry some more props there. Most revenue of all leagues in only 17 games. That's really true, though. That's a great point. Like baseball, they have so many games and they still have like a third, fourth of the revenue.
For sure,
it's crazy.
If I ever had enough money to own a league, like a team, like he'd be the first person I call for a one-on-one.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, he ain't even my favorite person, but if I'm trying to be successful, like I'm gonna go where I know I can get the best knowledge from. You know what I'm saying?
And because having him in your corner, when it comes to like getting approval or working with the rest of the league,
everything. That's what I'm saying, man. Like don't trip. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on Jerry Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude,
he behind the scenes made the whole LA come back to the Rams, the Rams come back to LA, kinds of stuff. Like, for sure. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anthony West says do some college schedules like top 10. That would be dope. At least we could do our teams and then maybe maybe the top. That would be a fun one. Those will be quick because all we have to say is like, will they lose? Like, which games will they lose?
For sure.
Because most of the top 10 is gonna maybe lose 2 or 3 games max. So we'll do some of those. That'll be fun.
Definitely. That will be fun because it's gonna be like, which one is the, who's the underdog when it's gonna beat them? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Where's the upset?
That's what it always is. Where's the upset gonna be?
Exactly. So that'll be a fun one. But we got some more of those locked in, and only about 3 weeks left until everything kicks off. So we'll be ready. Until then, though, we appreciate everybody rocking with us each and every week. We want to give a shout out to our brother Mad Marcus as always. We love you, dog, and we'll see you soon. And that was episode. What are we? 259 or one? Yeah. What was it? 250.
259.
259. Okay, yeah. 259. That was episode 259 of Say Like a Champ. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.
Peace.